Now let's talk about the CSS selectors. CSS selectors is used to style the HTML element, and some types of CSS selectors are over here. First one is the element selector, where we can style the HTML element using the CSS property. Here P is the HTML element and color is the property and red is the value. Another one is the ID selector, and we can give the ID name using the hash symbol, and inside the curly braces this is CSS property and value. And ID must be unique in one HTML document, so we can only apply the ID for only one HTML element. Another one is the class selector. We can give the class name by using the dot symbol and then dot and then the class name. And inside the curly braces, this is the CSS. Here color is the property and red is the value. We are giving the same property value for all these selectors, that is element selector, ID selector, class selector. Another one is the group selector. If we have same property, then we can use the HTML element separated by the comma in this way. So we can repeat we do not need to repeat the same code again and again. In this situation, we can group our HTML element using the comma symbol. After that, we have universal selector. It used to select all the HTML element at once. If we have some common properties in different HTML element, then in this case, we can use the universal selector. I have created one folder here, that is CSS tutorials. I want to open these folders in Visual Studio Code, and I will explain the example here. First of all, let's open this in Visual Studio Code. My folder is opening here. Now you can see the CSS tutorials folder is open in Visual Studio Code. Now let's create here another file, another first file, that is index.html. If you don't know how to set up the Visual Studio Code, then you can watch my HTML tutorials. Inside that HTML playlist, you can watch the how to install Visual Studio Code and how to open Visual Studio Code in different way. Now let's create another file, that is index.html. If I press enter, now this file is created here, and I want to use the code snippets by using the shift 1, and if I press enter, now I got this default HTML code. And first of all, I want to create here the p tag. One is p tag and another one is the h2 tag, and inside the h2 tag I want to write this is heading, and inside the p tag I just want to write this is PARAPH, this is paragraph. And if I run this code by pressing on the go live option here, now we can see our output as this is heading and this is paragraph. And if I go to again into the Visual Studio Code, then this is our code, and we can apply the CSS in HTML in 3 different ways, that is internal CSS, external CSS, and the inline CSS. So we will talk about these different types of CSS in later videos, in upcoming videos. But first I want to show you only the internal CSS. If you want to use the internal CSS, then you can inside the gear tag just type the style HTML element, and inside the style HTML element you can give these CSS properties here. And if I want to write first of all I want to discuss about the element selector. If I press Ctrl key C, this is comment, and I'll discuss it first, element selector. Okay, element selector. And if I type P here, and if I give the color, color as red, and if I go to the browser, now this paragraph becomes the red. Okay, and also I can give the h2 also. If I give the property from or h2, if I give the color, color as, if I give the green color, or you can say the gray color, then now it's converted to the green color. So in this way you can use the element selector. Okay, if you want to select particular element, and if you want to give some style to that particular element, then you can apply this in this way. And if I want to put it into the comment, so I can press here Ctrl KC. And the next one is the ID selector. Okay, ID selector. If I press Ctrl KC, ID selector. And first of all I want to create the ID using the hash symbol, and I can give the name as my ID. Okay, and if I put here the color here, so you will have color red. And if I again go to the browser, nothing is showing here because we are not applying that ID property into particular HTML element, and we have to use this ID in a particular HTML element. So I can give the ID name as my ID, and if I go to the browser, now this change into this is heading. And one important thing here, the ID must be unique in one HTML document. So we are using this ID once only for a particular time. Okay, we are not using this ID again and again. We are just using this ID for h2 element, and now we won't use this ID for other element. So this is my ID is unique, and we can apply this for only one time. So after that, another one is the class. Again, I want to put this ID part into also the comment section. And after that, I will discuss about the class selector. Okay. And we can create the class selector by using the dot symbol and then class name, my class. And inside the my class, I can again give the color, okay? Color red. If I go into the browser, nothing will show here because this ID is in the comment, inside the comment. So I just have to remove this, and I can give the class is equals to my class, okay? And if I go to the browser, now this is heading is converted into the red color. Likewise, if I again go into the this part and I want to give some okay, I want to apply this class property into the paragraph also. And if I class is equals to my class, and if I go to the browser, now this is paragraph is also converted into the red color. So in this way, you can use the class selector property. And I want to put it again in the comment section by the pressing Ctrl C. And after that, we have the another selector, that is the universal selector. And we can apply this universal selector by using the asterisk symbol. And inside the asterisk symbol, we can give color red, okay? And if I go to here, now this is default converted into the red color. We do not have to apply the particular class or particular ID, okay? This universal selector means we are applying the common properties to all the HTML elements. So if you create any other heading, any other title, any other anything, then it will automatically converts into the red color. This is the common property. Sometimes we have to make some common properties in the HTML document, so we can create in this way. And this is universal. This name is the UNIBERSL universal SL is CTUR selector. And again, I want to put this is also in the comment section by pressing the Ctrl C. Now we have another selector, that is the group selector, okay? GROUP group, SCL is CTUR group selector, CTUR group selector, okay? And to create the group selector, we have already discussed about the element selector. So if we have the p tag and the h2 tag has the same property, then we don't need to write the p tag separated and h tag separated. We can write it at once in this way, h2 comma p, and we can give the CSS properties here. If I want to apply this here, we color it. And if I go to here, now this is also shows the, this is heading in red color and this is paragraph is also in red colors. In this way, you can use the different selectors in HTML. So again, I want to repeat it again. Element selector is used to select the particular HTML element, and you can style the CSS here, okay? And ID selector must be unique in a HTML document, so it must be, we can apply it only once. And class selector, we can apply it for many times if we have this, if we need the same property for the different HTML elements. And another one is universal selector. It means it shares the common properties. So if we give any style inside the asterisk block, then it will execute all the code in the HTML document. It applies for all the HTML whole document, okay? And group selectors means we can select the particular HTML element, and if we have same common properties in different HTML element, then we can separate it by commas, okay? In next video, we'll discuss about the how we can apply the CSS into HTML, different ways to insert the CSS into HTML in next video. If we talk about the style, this style is the HTML element, and if we write any code inside the CSS, inside the style block, then this is known as the internal CSS. So in upcoming lecture, we'll discuss remaining topics. If you get any confusion regarding this video, you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you.